All right, so Dallas ISD Police Chief Craig Miller is in tonight to offer his take on what happened on the two coasts today. Chief, in New York, the police commissioner and the mayor actually make this decision. In Los Angeles, it was the superintendent. How would it work here? We've had a couple of school threats, not a district-wide threat, but if the Dallas ISD had a sort of a district-wide threat, how would it work? Would you be involved in that? Would that be your call, or whose call would it be?
Well, we're much like LA Unified in that they have their own police department. NYPD actually has school resource officers that work inside the schools, but I don't believe that in New York the police commissioner, Chief Bratton, actually has much to do with the school administrators. We're in LA Unified, just like Dallas ISD. We're in constant communication with the staff. I think one of the big issues here that comes into this is the amount of time that's available. You get a threat at 10:15 at night, 10:30 at night that you believe is credible, and you're working with your staff, because we've had this go on recently in our district, and you're working with your staff and you're trying to make a decision, but you have to realize the buses, and you're talking about thousands of buses in LA Unified, are going to start rolling in literally 6 hours. And with those buses rolling, you've got to make the determination. This is like moving the Titanic. You've got to move this slow. So they've got to make a decision. If they had the information available to them last night when they made that determination to close school that they have right now, they certainly wouldn't have closed school, but they have to react based upon what information they gain. And the information they had, Muslim extremists going into the schools with bombs, going to do things, they in some sense, you're either going to be scrutinized for overreacting or for underreacting.
And let's talk about that. I'm trying to think if this is CYA or what, because New York's Mayor Bill de Blasio characterized the email threat as so generic and outlandish that it would be a disservice to the nation to close down our school system. 160,000 students in the DISD. That's a big thing to even think about. It's a disservice to the nation. I mean, are they overplaying that? Are they trying to get their parents by saying it was overblown in Los Angeles to not come at them and say you should have kept our kids home too? Maybe they weren't safe. What all plays into this?
Well, Mr. de Blasio, I respect him, but I don't think he's an educator, and he doesn't know what an educator's having to decide. I can tell you for a first-hand example, 2 weeks ago we had a situation at one of our middle schools where a student made some threats that the parents took very serious, and it ended up to be that she did it in an attempt to gain more Instagram followers. We were scrutinized by parents as the complaint was ongoing because they were pulling their kids out of school saying, why are you sending my kids to school? Why aren't you guys doing more about this? And so in that instance, we were scrutinized for not acting and not putting out information when we were trying to vet that information to see if it was legitimate, which in turn it really didn't prove to be. Now we've got a situation where we're trying to do the right thing for the campuses, but people on the coast, especially in New York City, don't really understand what's going on with the school district.
And it's tough. It's like the Churchill phrase, in the arena, from Roosevelt too. It's like, these guys are on the front lines. They got to make a call. It's easy to sit on the couch and say you screwed it up, but when you're out there trying to protect kids, it's a tough call. Tell me what makes you game plan? What worries you? You sit home at night and you try to, how would I do that? What would I do? What worries you?
A legitimate threat. And we take all threats seriously. We vet them all. We have to look at them no matter how minor they might seem. But when you have something, and maybe there are some Islamic names that are attached to it, and then you get a situation like this where the Instagram or the message actually comes from out of the country, you start to give it some validity. But I like to, but what I'd like to see is some things proven up. In my experience, we've yet to see in this country a bomber who announces to you ahead of time at a certain place, something's going to happen. If they do, and we have a situation where actually a bomb was detected, that's the sort of thing that I think that will tighten us all up.
Bigger picture, nobody got hurt today, everybody's safe. Get to go home at the end of the day. That's a win, I guess.
That's right, and they'll be in school tomorrow.
Yep.
And in Dallas ISD, the school district here has done an excellent job in the aftermath. If people go to the Dallas ISD Hub, their website, they can get information that we talk to the parents to tell them what to expect in Dallas ISD if a situation like this should occur and how we would handle that.
Okay, Chief Craig Miller, thanks.